Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to SevTech Ages. So since last episode, I have done a bit of building and I've done a bit of prep. Okay, so first up, if we take a look in here, I've got 405,000 cobblestone. I ended up switching over from a drawer. Since I'd filled the drawer, I switched over to a quantum storage unit for the cobblestone. Because I realized that somewhere along the way, of course I always tend to, I don't know, just lose my mind. I need a lot more cobblestone than I was originally thinking, because we're going for 8 times cobblestone. So I went ahead and did a quantum storage unit. Today we're going to get into compressing that a little bit, and then probably at the end of the episode we're going to set up something to get cobblestone in a bit faster. Right now I've actually got the, well, I'll pop over there in a second, but I have the void ore miner switched over to another void resource miner, and both of them set with gray lenses. So they're focused on getting more cobblestone. It's still not, I mean, it's not super fast. It's not terrible. I mean, 30 minutes I get about 10,000 or something, 15,000. It's not terrible, and it's something, you know, that's running on a server constantly. But I'm still going to need a lot more. A lot more cobblestone. Like a whole lot more. If we take a look inside of the prep chest over here, I did finish the ultimate ingots. So those are done, and then I have the 4 enhanced Galgadorian that we're going to need for the creative fluid tank. I've already got that done, so we should, I think we're done with enhanced Galgadorian. Since last episode, it was terrible. I had to craft up so much Galgadorian, and I'll explain why here in just a second. But also, 4 glass singularities, paperclip singularity, and our 8 ultimate catalysts. All those are done. We're done with singularities at this point, actually. Back here, we have the stuff prepped for the jetpack. Everything except for the 4 jetpacks that we need here, and the thrusters, which we need the Tier 8 rocket engines to do that. We're going to get that today. We're going to get our creative jetpack today. So, yay. Over here we have everything laid out for the boosters. Or the thrusters, I mean. This is where Galgadorian came in. And this was terrible. So if you take a look at it's the diamond and emerald capacitors. Or the energy cells, both. They take 3 energy cells. Each energy cell takes an advanced coil that takes 3 Galgadorian rods. So you need 1.5 Galgadorian per advanced coil. And I made a ton of those things. Not to mention, I prepped up the stuff that we need over here. If we take a look, I spent a while prepping up the stuff that we need for iron jetpacks, for our actual jetpacks that we're going to craft here in just a minute. Because we need jetpacks for the advancement, but also we need 4 emerald jetpacks for this craft here. So a whole lot of Galgadorian. Well, quite a bit. It was a few stacks of Galgadorian, but we did have that extra stack left over, so it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great fun either. But I think at this point, I think we're just about done with Galgadorian, which is awesome. I'm so happy to be done with that. Basic mechanical pipes, vortex tubes, none of that's expensive. And then lastly, in this chest right here, this is everything prepped up except for the 2 compressed obsidians that we need and the compressed cobblestone, and that is for the creative compressor. So you can see we got the compressed iron singularity. Basically, I left it running overnight, and we built up the 40,000 compressed iron that we need, and another 43,000 compressed iron. And then glass, I ran it through until the electrodes, 3 electrodes wore out. I stuck 3 more electrodes in there and let it just run out those, making glass. Then I put 3 new ones in there and shut off the glass. So we have 23,000 extra glass, and we got the 40,000 that we needed for the singularities. So all that stuff's ready to go. The only thing I have not started, I've started getting a couple things together, but the only creative item that we're not just about done with, or at least just about prepped with, is the creative fluid tank. And then if we pop over here, I did spend a bit of time at the bottom of the castle once again, working on some stuff, and then also I worked up here a bit, got all the windows all the way around that added, and did a bit of work inside of those rooms, basically just laying out rooms and stuff like that, and added some banners up here just to add some color and a little bit more vibrancy up through here. So, and then the bottom of the castle, I'm not going to go down there right this second, but we will. I've been working down there quite a bit, because those bottom 2 floors we never really did a whole lot with. But over here we have a void resource miner and a void resource miner over there, both of which, like I said, have gray laser lenses on them. And then we have advanced power cells feeding these, because these ones only need 19,000 RF per tick to run, and so I figured this way they run at night too. So that way we have them running 24/7. So anyways, the first thing that I want to do, let's pop over to the RS system. Let's knock out a couple advancements real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the 4 jetpacks that we need for the creative jetpack. And we have to tier these things up. So we're going to start with the Electrum Jet Packs, and I actually have to make the thrusters. So let's go ahead and get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. And then we are going to get our Electrum Jet Packs. And then we're going to upscale those. Well, let's actually let the advancement pop. There we go. Electrum Jet Pack. And yeah, an Emerald Quest. I wonder if there's anything after the Emerald one. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But and then we're going to need 8 Diamond Thrusters. These things are probably one of the more expensive things that we've done. Just because of all the Galgadorian, and there's just like a lot of pieces that have to go in there. The Electrum ones only took redstone alloy. But still quite a bit of redstone alloy for making 4 of these things. There we go, Diamond Jetpack advancement. And then lastly, the Emerald Jetpack. I need to make the thrusters. Of course, these aren't too bad. Once we have all the like the energy cells and capacitors and stuff prepped, these things aren't too bad to make. So 4 Emerald Jetpacks. Dun, 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 dun. And there we go. Emerald Jetpack quest done. Look at that. We are wrapping up this age. Wrapping up this pack, in fact. Okay, so the Emerald Jetpacks go right there, if I recall correctly. Yes, they do. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so now all we need is the thrusters. That is it. And we'll have the Creative Jetpack, which I'm actually excited about, because we will finally have Creative Mode Flight, Creative Mode Hover. Not to mention the armor on this. 8 armor is not too bad. It's actually... it's higher armor, but you lose the toughness of Mantle of Stars, but it's not like armor really matters. Nicholas actually brought up in the comments a couple episodes ago that the nanobots, if you put like a 5th resistance on there, it just says resistance. Like you lose like resistance 2, 3, 4, and it just says resistance, you know. So I just assume it was bugged, but Nicholas brought up in the comments that it's not actually bugged. If you put 5 resistance in there, it's actually resistance 5, it just shows resistance, and it makes you 100% immune to all damage. Except for, you know, void damage, creative /kill, command, stuff like that. But that does work. I'm not going to worry about changing it over. I was debating on it, and it's just like, I don't even take enough damage to die anyways. And then we have, like, super regeneration, so... and there's not really a point, but you could. I mean, at that point, there's not really... even at this point, there's not really any point in wearing armor, but... yeah, you could do that. Okay, now one thing I want to do right here. I actually want to grab these quantum compressors because we're actually going to be using these until we get the compressed obsidian and cobblestone done. But one thing that I would like to do just really, really quickly is if we take a look at obsidian, the compressed obsidian, we need for the, let's see, I think it's 4 times, correct? For the compressed obsidian, yes, it's 4 times compressed obsidian. 2 of those that we need. And so I want to start running obsidian through and compressing this through the quantum compression. Ultimate catalyst. Okay. I was thinking, I know the cobblestone, it's like iron catalyst or whatever. Okay, yeah, we're going to need an ultimate catalyst for each of these. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and just make... I'm just going to do 2 in total for this. Because I don't really want to make a bunch of ultimate catalysts. Just because. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run obsidian through this. And that's going to start compressing and creating our compressed obsidian. And then we're going to set up a quantum compressor right there. Ultimate catalyst. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and... actually, let me move this. Let me move this over by 1. We'll set it right there. Whoops. I always do that. I always try to shift click it in. There we go. And let me actually clip these off. We'll have to move those here in just a second. Or this whole like area, this whole setup. And what we're going to do is let's get a item injection, item extraction pipe. And we're going to go to space here in just a minute, but we're going to do this first. So item extraction, item injection right there. And we're going to start pumping this over and creating our 2 times compressed obsidian. And we only need about 81 of these, right? Yeah, only about 81 of them. to get our 4 times. Of course, we're going to need 2 4 times. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make one more ultimate catalyst. There we go. And we'll set this right there. Ultimate catalyst right there. And let's run... actually, I need to shift this over. Right there. Extraction cable. Injection cable. I actually like these cables because they're pretty quick. They are, in fact, pretty fast. And then we're just going to run some power over to this. Luckily, the obsidian we don't actually need that much of. Okay, now once this hits 18 compressed obsidian, we'll have enough to craft our 2 4 times compressed obsidian. It is going to take a minute. It's even at the end, like at the end of the day, it's still a ton of obsidian. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to take these other 2 quantum compressors and let's see the cobblestone that we're going to be making. Compressed cobblestone. We need basic catalysts for this. So, do I want to go with stardust or I'm going to go with luminescence? We'll go ahead and make 2 of these to start with. We're going to make more of them later in the episode, but for right now 2 will be good. And 2 basic catalysts. There we go. And let me make another power cell. This one's actually for the void miner because we're going to be using that a couple times this episode. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up an extraction pipe from this cobblestone. And I don't want that to connect. Okay, just right click it. We'll bring the items over into a quantum compressor. Actually, let me move this over. Alright, we'll set a quantum compressor up like right there. And we're going to say basic catalyst. And it's going to start, it's going to be building up on cobblestone right now, but we'll put our advanced power cell right there. And power card, outputs, and there we go. It's going to start compressing our cobblestone for us. And then we're going to do another one. Let me make another set of cables. How's this obsidian going? We're up to 10. Okay, that's good. And then we'll do our extraction pipe, our injection pipe, and our quantum compressor right there and start pumping that over, and then we'll just bring our wires over like so. And our basic catalyst, there we go. That's going to start making our 2 times compressed cobblestone. We're up to 13 compressed obsidian. Okay, and I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to go ahead and make one more quantum compressor, I think, because they're not that expensive. And I think having one more would be kind of nice. We don't really need any more than that, I don't think. That should be plenty. Okay, and then we're going to need our catalyst. And I went ahead and made 3 more of those. Okay, so we are up to 2 times compressed. It's a lot of cobblestone that we need, in fact. Alright, so extraction pipe, injection pipe, quantum compressor, basic catalyst, and then we just have to plug this up with power. There we go, and that's going to start creating 3 times compressed cobblestone. Whoops. We're getting somewhere. Okay, how's this going? 16. Okay, I'm going to give this just a second to finish up, and I'll be back here in just a moment. Okay, yeah, you can see that the item pipes are actually pulling out the cobblestone faster than the compressors can actually run them. I mean, these pipes are actually pretty effective, I found when I was messing with it. Because I basically took our drawer and I set it up here, and I ran, extraction pipe and injection pipe into the quantum storage unit. It emptied out that drawer of like almost 400,000 cobble in like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. I mean, it's pretty fast, But anyways, this is building up on compressed cobble, and our obsidian is done. This actually has a bit of a backlog. I don't really care. I'm just going to break it, because I still have 154,000 obsidian, so I think we're okay on it. I did shut off the injection for it, though. So let's go ahead. Let's break this off. And let's break these back. Break that. Break that. Basically, I'm just going to tear all this down, because we don't actually need the compressors that are over here anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and just pull all of that up. Okay, and then the only cobblestone that I need is the 3 times. And I don't need these catalysts anymore either. And what we're going to do is, let's... oh, actually, I do need the catalyst for just a minute. Because I need to upgrade these to the 4 times compressed. So, quantum compressor right there, ultimate catalyst, and we'll dump in our 3 times compressed obsidian. And there we go. There is our 4 times compressed. There we go, and we'll break that off. Okay, so we are done with Obsidian. That really wasn't all that difficult. Our 4 times compressed Obsidian goes there. Okay, and then the rest of this I'll just dump into there. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to take the rest of our quantum compressors. We're going to have 6 altogether. That's going to bring us up to 6 times compressed. Then all I need is 81 6 times compressed, and I'll be able to make the the compressed cobble that we need. But it's going to take a while to get that 6 times compressed that we need. So we're going to set up. Let's see. I'm just going to make a big mess, a big mess all over the place with this. We'll set up a compressor right there, and we'll just run that over, or actually I'll run it like that. I just kind of want this stuff all in here, just because. Injection pipe, extraction pipe, basic catalyst, and there we go. We're now producing 4 times compressed cobblestone. And then we're going to have to extract that, and we'll just bring it back to like right here. I thought about putting all this in a room, but then I was like, eh. Because, I mean, I've got the, I've got the quantum storage unit right there, and everything's just ran through there, so I was just like, I'm just going to set it up here. Just because I'm at the point, I'm just like, I'm ready to get this, like, done with. I honestly, out of everything that people use for in-game, I think cobblestone, just lots and lots of cobblestone, is probably the worst thing that you can use for in-game. I find it just, it's just silly. I don't understand why that's become, like, a norm for in-game. Like, I feel like in-game should be difficult, not grindy. And not many packs do difficult in-game. They just do grindy in-game. And cobblestone's the worst, because it's mundane, you know. And, I don't know. It's not even, like, hard to automate. It just takes a while, regardless of how you do it. Okay, so we're going to need 1 more of these basic catalysts. And we'll dump that into there. Wait, is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, I don't actually need this. Or this. Okay, so that's going to take us up to the 6 times compressed obsidian. Which right now we've got 2 4 times compressed, or not obsidian, cobblestone. So we're up to 4 times compressed, but this still has a lot of cobblestone to empty out. And this still has a lot of cobblestone left to run. So, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, great. Okay, and then what I'm probably going to do is, let me just grab like a chest, just a basic chest. And we'll do an extraction pipe there, injection pipe there, and a chest sitting right here that's going to collect all that 6 times compressed cobblestone. And then basically we're just going to let it build up for a while. Once it's built up, we can take it, dump it in. Once we get like 81 of them, dump them in, make 7 times, dump them in again, make 8 times, and there we go. But we need 81 6 times compressed cobblestone. So it's going to take a while. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get it running, because I mean we've got a lot of cobblestone in here, but it's a time sink is what this is. But it's on a server, so it can just run passively. Okay, we're going to get back to that by the end of the episode. We're going to set up something for getting like a lot of cobblestone. But for now, I want to pop over, and we are going to go into space. It is time that we go into space. I think my oxygen tanks they're okay. That's plenty. Oh, and I actually set up another teleport here. This is to Lucrid and Isa Dwarf's base. I was over there earlier checking it out, and I set up a teleport just to warp over there, which you guys will see that in the next few episodes. We're going to do like a final base server tour type thing, and so you guys will get to see that. But anyways, I think we're just ready to launch, because I've got this thing fueled. We're good on oxygen. I'm not for sure because we're going to be going to Uranus. Yeah, is Uranus, it does have a corrosive atmosphere. Great. Great, because I love all these corrosive atmospheres. Let's pull all that stuff off. And if we take a look here, we are good to launch. And this is our Tier 6 rocket. Everything is good. So, and I know that I've got link crystals. So let's launch. Nothing left but to do it. So we're going to go to Uranus. Basically, our main objective there, we have to get metals, of course. And then we need to find the rocket schematic for the Tier 7 rockets. Build the Tier 7 rockets. Then launch to Neptune. And then we don't even have to find the rocket schematic there. We just need to get the metals. That's all we need. We don't actually have a need for... I mean, we could do the rocket schematic, but I'm I'm pretty much I'm pretty much bored with Galacticraft. Like, I don't know. Or extra planets, I guess I should say. I'm not really, like, having a blast, blasting off over and over again. I don't know. It's just like, go to the planet, mine, get a schematic, leave. Go to the planet, mine, get a schematic, leave. And I'm pretty much over it. And it's all just recolors anyways. So I think we're just going to go to Neptune and then call it on extra planets. Get the stuff that we need for the creative items. So let's go ahead and launch to Uranus. And I got to make sure that I don't blow up our rocket. I don't like blowing up our rocket. And this one's actually one of the more expensive ones as well. And hopefully we don't crash the server a million times while we're doing this. Which I got to thinking, I'm going to try exploring this planet without using the spawner seeker. Because I got to thinking, like, when I first land on a planet, I can go out and I can do stuff. You know, I can go mine up metals. I can go kind of walk, you know, a little bit. But it's as soon as I start throwing that spawner seeker out that I start crashing. So I'm almost wondering if maybe that's not the cause of our crash. I mean, I'm not for sure. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. I was like, I started like speeding up there at the end there. Okay, so let's grab this stuff. And we'll dump it into there. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go underground. Because we need metals. I do like Uranus. And I want to say they've actually changed it since the last time that I went through this planet. And I think it looks really, really pretty. I mean, I've noticed some of the planets they did change slightly, but I really like the way Uranus looks now. It's like a frozen winter wonderland. And like, if I wasn't at the end of the pack, and if it wasn't our type of build that we're doing within this pack, and you know, different things like that, I would probably build a base here on Uranus. But like, all the Galacticraft stuff's like right at the end of the pack, so I'm just like I'm ready for it to be over. Okay, so what we're looking for is crystal ore right here. So let me just grab that. And I believe that's all that we need, right? So the tier 7 rockets. Let's take a look here. Compressed reinforced crystal. Whew, okay, this is going to be expensive. Because you need reinforced crystal, which is 4 crystal makes 2 reinforced crystal. And that's crystal ingots from crystal ore. It's going to take a lot of that metal. Oh, I can't get out of here now. I just want out. Okay. Because I haven't set my linking crystal yet. We're about to do that. So, okay, so first up, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a link crystal. We're going to set it to right here. And let's bust out our workstation. There we go. There we go. And we'll pull that out. And then we're going to set up our builder. Okay. And our filter card. Let's set crystal ore into there. And toss that in. Grab our card. Set that. We're going to set there. And then we're going to come out a ways. And I'm going to go ahead and get like a fairly large area. Look, there's a village underwater. That is awesome. This is frozen water, so we're taking damage from it being too cold. Of course, it doesn't really matter because our regeneration, I mean, you can see we're not even actually taking any damage. Like, the only time I've seen the health bar go down is when we were finding that, like, slime back on Mercury. Was the only time I saw the health go down. I mean, it was minimal, and it was, like, right back up, you know. But I did see the health drop a little bit when we did that. Okay, so we're going to set this... See, I can explore right now, and this seems fine. We're going to set it to right there, and then we'll just drop this into there, activate it, and it's going to start mining, and I'm going to go ahead and toss in this stuff into there, toss that into there, and then I'm going to go ahead and warp over to our RS system so I can go ahead and slot these metals, or these crystal ores. And we'll just drop them into there. And we haven't found any as of yet, it doesn't look like. We're sitting at 2 crystal ore. Hopefully we'll get some before too long. I hope. So we're just going to let that run for a bit. Because we're not pulling in anything at the moment. And we are back off. We're going to go exploring off like in this direction. And I'm going to see if I can find a dungeon. And I'm going to try this without the spawner seeker and see if that's what's causing the crashes. Because I'm almost feeling like it might be. Like, I got to thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know, it wasn't really crashing when I was running around without the spawner seeker. And, like, I know I had a lot of comments about maybe it's the corrosive atmosphere and stuff like. It's not. I don't think it's that. Because, I mean, I can literally come to a planet and I can AFK here, you know, if I wanted to. And it's not going to crash on me. But as soon as I start exploring, which I'm always shooting off the spawner seeker, that's when I start crashing. And so I think we're just maybe going to have to go out and find this the old-fashioned way. Which would be a whole lot easier if I had flight, but I don't. But I think the only thing that can come from the Uranus dungeon is the rocket schematic that we need. So as long as once I find one, we'll be good. But see, it's not crashing right now. I think that's what it is. I think it's the spawner seeker. Because I bet you if I was to pull out the spawner seeker and start shooting that, I bet you it would crash in like no time. And I don't feel like I was really spamming the spawner seeker. I was just casting it every so often. That looks like it could be a dungeon right there. I don't know. It looks like it could be. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. This could take a while. I hate searching for these dungeons. I think it would be cooler if they did, like, big, like, actual structures. Like, that's the worst thing is a lot of these, like, dimension mods. No, not a lot of them. I mean, Between Lands and Twilight Forest both put in, like, some effort to make good dimensions. But I think these would be a lot better if they put in the effort to actually, like, build a structure that, like, was more than just, like, some boxes underground. I think that would really, like, add to this mod. Okay, yeah. So I just have a bad spawner seeker. This is basically what it is. Because this is working great. I can fly, though. This will work. May not be as long and grueling if I fly through here. I've just got to watch my boots because it's going to burn them on durability. And so I've got to be careful and make sure they don't break. Which, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if they do break, it's not the end of the world, like, because I don't even really need armor at this point. And we're about to have creative mode flight. But I still would like to not destroy them, if at all possible. Okay, I seem to have found a dungeon. I was using the Mantle of the Stars. I also used the pneumatic helmet, looking for Uranus dungeon bricks. And then I ended up using the player launcher, since it gives you bouncy. And right here, which I use the spawner seeker periodically, just to make sure, but I'm not just using it a lot. It says there's a spawner down below us here, which I don't see any entrance in the immediate vicinity. Like, I had a run around and I didn't see anything, but apparently down here somewhere is a spawner. So, but yeah, it seems like if you use the spawner seeker very much, which, I mean, like I said, I wasn't spamming it. I was running, you know, maybe I was using it and then running about 150 blocks or so using it. But that seems to be what causes the crash. And moving away from that, it seems to be working fine. So, which it wasn't messing up on, like, the Galacticraft planets, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know what's causing it, but anyways, we are going to go with this. That looks like the boss room, actually. That works out. Yeah, this is the boss room. So we have the evolved ice slime boss. There we go. You'll notice this thing has a decent amount of health, but if you just take a ranged weapon or even just a sword, it's really hard for it to damage you. And then if you get it in a corner, this is actually true of the magma slime too. It's just the magma slime died like really, really quick. You can literally just like pretty much stand here and beat it to death. It does have a lot of health though, because I'm doing about 50 damage a hit, and it's holding on. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and dump this stuff into there. That. Yeah, I was using the resonating wand to fly when I was using the mantle. Okay, there is our Tier 7 dungeon key. This should be the last rocket ship that we've got to make. So, had I known that was the cause before, I would have just explored to get it. Okay, so there's our Tier 7 rockets, and I don't need any of the rest of the stuff. Okay, so let's warp over to the RS system. Okay, so how many crystal ore do we have at the moment? We have 2. Did it not... Why are we not getting any crystal ore? I would sure like to know. Did I not turn this thing on, or... Let's go see. Let me pop over, let me go take a look, because I'm going to need that crystal ore before I can upgrade the rocket ship. Like, I'm going to have quite a bit of it, in fact. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. I never set the card right. I just threw it in there. 200, 100, or negative 100. There we go. I was like, as soon as I got over here, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Alright, so let's pop down to our Galacticraft area, and we're going to set up our Tier 7 rocket schematic. Dun-dun-dun. Okay. We do have at least one level 6, though. Or one level 5, I mean. And, okay, we don't have any 6 times. And crystal ore, we have 5 at the moment. Okay. So basically what I've got to do is I've got to just, let me warp over. Okay, so our crystal ore, let's go ahead and grab that. We will dump it into, should have put this chest down there, but we'll dump it in there. It's going to get pulled into the arc furnace. I did reset that, so our little ore system is set up. And then the worst thing about the arc furnace is you can't make it auto sort. Like on its, I don't know, I'm looking up that. Okay, so here's what we're getting. We're getting crystal ingots. So we're getting these crystal ingots. Through the compressor, we get compressed crystal. Through the compressor, again, we get compressed reinforced crystal. This is used to make the Tier 7 booster, though. So I will need to keep some as compressed crystal. That's fine, though. And then 5 compressed reinforced crystal gets us our heavy-duty plates. Awesome. So we'll just dump that into there. Okay, so I'm going to have to let this run for a little bit, and I'll be back once I get this stuff ran, once I upscale the crystals, because, oh man, this is going to be expensive, because I've got to run this. Okay, and we got to get it through, make the compressed crystal, and then 4 makes 2. Still, it's expensive. It's very, very expensive, to say the least. Alright, so the compressed crystal, and then we can dump it back in. And there we go. It's going to get sucked into this, which I have this actually turned off right now. And then we get our compressed, reinforced crystal. And then 5 of those to make 1 Tier 7 heavy-duty plate. So I've got my work cut out for me here. I need quite a bit. I've actually got enough plates in here. So if we take a look here, I'm going to need almost a stack's worth. So I'll be back here in just a bit. Once we get all the crystal ore that we need. But, I mean, it's coming in at a decent rate, so I guess there's that. But, anyways, I'll be back. Okay, I thought I'd bring you guys back, because we are ready to make our Tier 7 rocket. It didn't take that long, really. So let's go ahead and just dump all this stuff into there, and boom, Tier 7. One thing I do want to show you really, really quick. If we pop over to the RS system, while I was waiting, I went ahead and made a second quantum compressor that's just doing, like, the cobblestone, because I had so much. And I mean, that's pretty much what's slowing me down, is making just the 1 times compressed cobblestone, because one of these just doesn't produce enough. I'm actually out of cobblestone in there. And I mean, that's still got a little ways to run, but yeah, we're 3 out of 9. I mean, it's like 500,000 for a 6 times compressed. And for some reason I was thinking it was 6 times, I think I was thinking it was 6 times compressed, not 8 times compressed that we needed. So we're a little ways off. It's like 45 million cobblestone that you need for the 8 times compressed. It's pretty much ridiculous, but we're gonna go for it. It's gonna take a little while. Luckily, we'll have time. I think we'll be able to get it. It might be the last creative item that we make, but we will make it. All right, so we're gonna put down our rocket, and there we go. There is our Tier 7 rocket. Okay, so let's get this thing fueled up. And we're going to let that load. And I'm refilling my oxygen right now. I'm also making some more of the, because I think I'm going to need like 2 more for the rocket engines that we're going to need. 2 more Tier 7 plates. So, I mean, it's not going to take a whole lot of time to get this stuff done. But anyways, I am running some oxygen tanks. I don't need a whole lot because we're only going to be there for like a minute. And really, if my oxygen runs out, like woody-doo, I'm not too worried about it. But anyhow, that's actually, it's funny because this is like the exact same rocket, except it has these like thrusters on the side. Okay, so I'm going to warp, before we go, I'm going to warp back over to Uranus, and I'm going to get our builder pulled up. Okay, so there's all of that. And then let's pop back over to the RS system. We're going to get an advancement like pretty much as soon as we land on Neptune, and then pretty soon after, because we're going to make the armor. Because that's where you get the zinc. And the zinc is what we need to pretty much finish out everything related to Galacticraft, I think. I didn't see anything. I haven't noticed anything else that requires, you know, anything higher than that. Anything farther than that, so. It always does this. It like drops me into the floor below, like I fall through the floor. Okay, so we should be ready to take off. Lift off. So let's go ahead, pop into there. We're fueled up, ready to go. Let me look at the map real quick. So Neptune is, once again, a corrosive atmosphere, of course. So I'm going to pull this stuff off. We don't really need it. And I'll just dump it into there, and we're ready to go. Let's do this. I've got link crystals and all of that. And barring anything, this might be our last liftoff, so we'll enjoy it. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, I'm a little bit ahead, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. I wouldn't be a good blast off counter. I don't know what they're called, but one of the guys that do the countdown. So because I get a little ahead of myself there, but that's all right. All right, so off into space once again. We'll get this stuff knocked out. Crag Rock Mountains. And then we'll head back after we get a little bit of zinc. I'm going to set up the auto miner for mining up zinc. We're going to let it run for a little while. We don't actually need a ton of it, though. We just need a little bit of it. So Neptune, what is Pluto is a tier 8. Okay. So we're going to launch to Neptune. Of course, Neptune is a tier 7. It goes all the way up to a tier 10 for your rockets. But it's so grindy. It's not even like, it's grindy to the point it's not even fun. Because you just go to the planet and it's just like, oh look, it's a different colored planet. And then you fight a boss and get a schematic. And then you blast off again. After you grind up a bunch of materials. Alright, so we are landing the chunk, or the biome says it's a Neptune radioactive water sea. Okay, sounds good. Which actually, I should head over here so we don't land in the water. Okay, this will be good. We'll make a landing right there. I don't want to land in the water. Okay, so now we're in a Neptune biome. And this is what Neptune looks like. Dun-dun-dun. And I'll just dump that into there. Okay, so what we're going to do, first up, let's grab our link crystal. Let's bind it. Let's set up our workstation. And our final slot, that actually worked out really, really well. So we have all the planets in a single a single AEP. Okay, so then we're going to, let's go ahead and set up the builder, actually. Just to get it down. And then we will, I won't activate it just yet, but advanced power cell, there we go, lever, weirding gadget. We'll go ahead and grab the shape card. We'll go ahead and do this. So there, and then we're going to go from here. Let me grab, this is a really easy way to do this. Meow. Yeah, see the radioactive sea isn't actually giving me any radiation, so. Which from what I understand, I know it was brought up in the comments that I think they disabled that because it was a horrible system because of the way that you had to go back to all like the previous planets and all this and like farm up the stuff to make like to get rid of the radio. It was awful. It was just terrible. A terrible, terrible system. Alright, so we are going to mine to, this is actually way overkill, by the way, because we don't actually need all that much of this, but we'll get that. We'll go to right there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and set this part. So 200 and then negative 100. There we go. And we'll just warp back over. And then we actually have to go get the, well actually before I warp over, I might as well go ahead and get the material that we need. So we'll just head on down. And we got the Neptunians advancement. Dun-dun-dun. So we went to the final planet. I still have to make the Mars rover. You know, I'll go back to Mars and do more dungeons. Especially now that I don't have to like keep pushing for rockets and all that mess. I think the dungeons would be a little bit cooler to do schematics if they were more than just a box, but it bothers me so much. Okay, so there's some Zinc Ore, and this stuff seems like it's going to be pretty common. Like decent little size deposits of it. Okay, so let's warp back over. And that's really all we came here to do. Like literally, this is all that we came here to do. So we're gonna put this into there. We're gonna grab our filter module. We're gonna toss in Neptune Zinc Ore into that, and we are going to toss this into here. And then all we need to do now is just warp back over to the RS system. We'll let this run for a little while. We actually are not going to run it for a super long time because I only need about maybe like a stack of zinc ore. I actually don't need all that much of it, in truth. Alright, so let's warp over and let's go slot this zinc ore, which let me grab my armor back. I can't live without that speed boost. Like it's really tough to go without it. In all actuality. Alright, so do we have any? I don't see any. Why do we not have any? I'm going to slot this right into there. We have 9 zinc ore. There's also blue gem ore, but I don't know that we're actually going to need it. We get blue gems, ultimate fuel loader, blue gem wafer's not used for anything, so we're not going to need that. Mainly focusing on the zinc ore right now. So anyways, I'm going to give that a minute to run, and we're going to go ahead and craft something really, really quick. I want to make an machine infuser from RF Tools. Just one of these. They're super cheap. And we are going to, here in a second, we're going to infuse our... let me get like another, let's see, like 4 stacks? Yeah, we'll get like 4 stacks. We're going to infuse our builder here in just a minute. Man, it's still at 9 zinc ore. Okay, I'm going to let that run for a minute, and we'll be back here in a second. Actually, let me go... I'm going to go ahead and process some of this so that we can have it pumping out into the drawers. Because I'm going to need, like I said, I'm going to need a little bit of this stuff. Like, basically, I just need a little bit to make some tier 8 plates. And how do we process this? Because it doesn't process through there. Crusher makes zinc dust, and then we have to, okay, then we have to smelt it. Okay, so we actually have to crush this stuff first, which I have a mechanism crusher up there, which is probably what I'm going to do long term. I'm only doing a little bit of it right here. And then the zinc, I'm assuming it is 2 for 1 on the plates. Oh, you can actually just do 5 zinc to make a tier 8 plate. That's nifty. There's also the compressed zinc, which apparently has no use. So we just need, still 5 ingots though, but we just need to do it like that. Okay. And then we can run this through the arc furnace. And if we take a look here, how are we doing? Still 5 zinc. I'm going to have to go look and see, because I feel like it's not actually, mining that. It's either like extraordinarily rare or just it's, oh, now we're up to 9 again. Okay, so it is mining it. It's just extraordinarily rare. Now, one thing that we can do is we can go ahead and take some of this zinc, and we have to run this through these compressors or the electric compressors, but we can start making ourselves the armor layers, the tier 4 armor layers, because that is zinc to do that. Because if we take a look here, the sharpest dressed man, we have to craft the full tier 4 spacesuit, and all we need for that is the tier 4 armor layers. And it's not getting much zinc. I actually think I'm going to head there and just start mining myself with the pneumatic helmet on, because like I can actually find this stuff at a decent rate. Because this is just like super slow. Oh, I need to make the prepared spacesuit, don't I? So to upgrade this, we're going to need a bunch of zinc for that as well. So I will be back here in a bit. I'm going to have to get 8 of these. I'm going to have to get these upgraded to tier 4 unprepared, and get the zinc that we need for the thrusters. Oh, now we're up to 40. Okay, so now we're finding zinc. Must just have been like really unlucky, or mining someplace that just didn't have a lot of zinc or something. Because then I like turn around and we've got a bunch more. So, anyways, I'll be back here in just a second once I get some stuff together. Okay, we should be all set now. So let's pop over. Well, we'll just pop over to the RS system first. We're going to do this thing, this little something first. So if we take a look at the tier 8 rocket engine, we're going to need a couple of these oxygen vents, and we are going to need a couple flint and steels, and then we can get this. Bum, and bum, bum. There we go. 2 of those. And now what we can do is we can take all this stuff. Let's go ahead and just compact it. There we go. And if we take a look at... I'm really excited for this. This is like the big creative item that I've wanted. Creative thrusters. There's one of those, and... oh. I need a little bit more zinc. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to need... yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. For some reason I was thinking... see, I always get all kinds of mixed up. I was thinking I guess I need the rocket here, and... I don't know. I have no clue. Alright, let me pop over. I mean, I've got the zinc being ran. I did actually accidentally make some compressed zinc. Actually, can I use... I can't use that for making... but I do have these, and I've got these. Yeah, I can do that. I can pull that off. Well, while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and grab our unprepared spacesuits. And we're going to upgrade... there's the Tier 4 unprepared... Tier 4, Tier 4, and Tier 4. And I've still got enough zinc. No, I'm going to need a little bit more. I think I've still got some running. Yeah, still making some zinc. We might have enough. I may have to run just a little bit. Okay, so there's that. And then we can go ahead and get our top tier spacesuit. So there's Tier 4 space, Tier 4 space, Tier 4, and Tier 4. And this is going to be an advancement. Pow, sharpest dressed man. That is done. Oh, look at that. We only have 4 advancements. And we're going to get at least... yeah, we're going to get 1 more done this episode. We won't get any more than 1. I don't think. Okay, so this over here... there's our compressed reinforced crystal. We'll go ahead and... I only need those. There we go. Tier 7. And then we just have to upgrade this. Let's see, do I have 40 zinc? I do. Beautiful. So that, plus that, and we'll get that running. To make our last tier plates. And then I'm also going to, if we take a look at the rocket engine, we're going for the Tier 8s. I'm going to need some more oxygen vents. I'm out of compressed tin, so I'm going to have to just run just a little bit of tin here. Alright, so 2 of those. And here we go. There is 1 rocket engine, 2 rocket engine. Okay, so now we're ready. Now we're actually ready this time. No more surprises. We are set and ready to go. Shouldn't be any more surprises. Knock on wood. Okay, there we go. Alright, so creative thruster. There we go. There's another one of those. And I'm going to go ahead and... I'm pretty much done with plates at this point, I think. I don't think there's any more coming up or anything. And there we go. That's the completed one. Let's go ahead and just compact this. Am I going to be able to fit it all? That's the question. Because I'm thinking no. Because most of this stuff doesn't even stack. Which actually, I wonder if I was to like dump all this in here. If I would just be able to like shift click in and it would like organize everything. I'm going to hope that it does. If not, I'll just have to reorganize it. It's not a big deal. Yes, we can do that. Awesome. And here we go, the creative jetpack with infinite energy. And yeah, we can set all the vertical speed, acceleration, and all that. Pow! 200 prestige points, and we got the creative jetpack. Look at that. That is an exciting moment, to say the least. And that means we're done with this. Let's take that off. We'll toss on that. And, oops. I'm going to set this, controls, let's see, iron jetpacks. Which the normal buttons that I use for this, for toggle engine and toggle hover, I'm actually using for other stuff at the moment. Let's see, can I do that? Control, comma, shift, comma, there we go. So I've just got it shift and control, comma, for this. And that way I can toggle the hover and everything, which I'm probably just going to leave it on. So if we need to like land, we can land it. Then take back off. We actually fly pretty fast. But we now have creative jetpack. Look at that. Dun-dun-dun. And we can fly forever. Woo! Alright. So now, what I want to do, let's actually just toss our Mantle of the Stars in there. Because this thing actually flies pretty fast when I do shift, or control, because it gets the speed boost from this as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over now to Neptune. I don't need that builder anymore. That builder is done. And we're only 2 creative items. Of course, that cobblestone is rough. If you recall, I talked about that stone factory from Industrial Foregoing. We might actually end up setting up a few of those. I'm just going to play it by ear. But what we're going to do right now is a way to get a lot of cobblestone. I have used this in the past. And it's actually pretty effective. Is it going to be enough for 45 million cobblestone? I don't know. I may want stone factories. I may want multiples of these going. I don't know for sure yet. We're just going to have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and grab some stone. I believe that... I can't remember if the builder filters on what you get out of stuff or what it actually is. I think it's what it actually is, actually. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive that it is. Okay, so we're going to fly out here, and man, this is buggy. Yeah, it keeps doing that. It has something to do with sprinting with this on. It's I can do little bursts of sprint, but if I go too far or too long, it starts acting up. Alright, so what we're going to do is, let's set a marker here that says builder. Because there's actually, when you start mining the entire world down, there's actually a lot of cobblestone. There's a lot of cobblestone in the world. So we're going to set up our builder right here. We're going to take our shape card, our filter module out. Let's take this. We're going to shift right click. We are going to shift right click. And then we're going to come out a ways. And we need to make a pretty big area here. Oh, but there's red rock. I think there's cobblestone underneath the red rock, though, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, and you know what? Actually, before we do this, let's actually pull this back up. I might actually set this up a little bit closer to home instead of coming out very far for this. But before we do that, let's warp back over to the RS system really, really quick, because I want to infuse this so it'll be faster. I almost forgot about that. So let's take our machine infuser, plug that up to some power, and we're going to toss in our builder. Oops, right there. And our infused diamonds go... Oh wait, it's not the infused diamond. It's... Man, I'm losing my mind tonight. It's the crystal shards. Or not the... dimensional shards. I'm losing my mind. I don't know why I made all those infused diamonds. I just had it in my head that that's what I was using. I don't know. I have no clue. Okay, so we're going to infuse this. It is going to take a minute to get it fully infused. So we're just going to put a hopper. We'll put a hopper right here, feeding down into it. We'll toss a chest on it. This is probably the only machine that we're going to infuse is this one builder. It's really the only one that we need to do this with. And let me actually grab these out. Let me manually fill that back up. And we are at 30%, so it's going to take about 4 stacks. Usually about 4 stacks of dimensional shards per machine. And then while that's running, let's go ahead and pop over. And this little ender chest right here, I don't need this right now. And let's pop back over. We're going to set this up and connect it up to our system here. And I'm just going to feed the stuff directly into the quantum storage unit, I do believe. So let's get our item pipes. Because I've noticed that these are a bit faster, I feel like, than even a fully upgraded exporter. That's the reason I'm going with these, because the exporters, they're fast, but these are pretty fast too, so... Alright, so extractor right there, and we're going to set up one of our ender chests right there. So it's going to pull and feed it into the quantum storage unit. And our builder is 100% infused now. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's pop out here. And I'm just going to set this up. I'm starting to feel like this is like slower. Because I can't sprint with it. It's actually kind of a bummer. I have to like putt. I mean, in truth, it's not like we're going to be flying. At this point, most of the rest of the pack is just like crafting things. Is pretty much what it is. Alright, so we're going to set this up right here. Let's set up a marker that says builder. And we're going to say... Oops. We're going to say from here to there. And we're just going to make a nice big area for this to mine. Oh, this is horrible. I don't know why it's like so buggy. Yeah, I'm actually faster on the ground than in that thing. We're going to come out to right here. Okay, so right there. It's good. Okay, new settings copied to the shape card. I think I'm only going to use this jetpack for like building. Because it's bad. It's so laggy that it's hard to use. So I think we will stick with the mantle unless we are building or something like that. Creative jetpack is cool, but you know, really none of the creative items. The jetpack was the one that I had like the last bit of hope for. I mean, the energy was cool, but do I actually need it? Not really, because I've got so much energy and it stays like pretty much near full all the time, anyways. But like none of the creative items are terribly useful for us. Okay, so we're going to toss this into there. We are then going to kill these husks, and we're going to set up our filter module. We're going to add stone to this, say that you can mine that stone, and we'll toss that into there. And then let's see, advanced power cell right there, lever right there, weirding gadget, ender chest, and oh wait, before I do that, let me take the shape card before I forget. 200, negative 100. There we go. We could also make like a cobblestone dimension with RF tools. That would work too, but this will be fine. And we'll go ahead and run. And there we go. It's going to start getting lots and lots and lots of cobblestone. Yeah, that item pipe's not going to be enough at all. We're going to have to speed that up a little bit. So, how do we want to do this? Because I prefer it doesn't even run through our RS system. Okay, this pack actually has translocators. So we're going to use those. I just noticed. I didn't even realize it had translocators, but it does. So we're going to put one setting right there. Yeah. One setting right there, and then we're going to do the other one setting... I will have it setting right there. Translocator right there, and we're going to right click right there. It's going to start sending all the cobblestone into there. And then we're just going to need a piece of glowstone. Right click that. So now it's going to transfer stacks at a time. Okay, so that's pretty much taken care of. This is going to fill up. I mean, look at that. Done. And we're building up cobblestone at a decent amount, at a decent rate. And there's actually 26,000 and counting in here. There is 157,000 and counting in here. I'm probably going to end up setting up more quantum compressors. And then if we wanted to, we could actually set it up with translocators and have them pumping. But honestly, these pipes are fast enough. I mean, they're sending more cobblestone to these than these can even keep up with. So it's mainly going to come down to quantum compressors. I may add a couple more of those, maybe 2 more or something like that. Because this is going to take a while. I mean, we're at 5 out of 9 on our first 6 times compressed cobblestone. I mean, that's a lot of cobblestone. But like I said, we only need about 81 of the 6 times to be able to craft the 8 times that we need. And that's all we need to craft the compressor. It's basically just a big waiting game on that creative item. But like I said, I am going to add probably going to add one here, and maybe one here, maybe have like 5 quantum compressors, because these pipes seem to kind of round robin. I mean, they're kind of bouncing around. I mean, this one only has 28,000, but this one had 100 and something thousand whenever I plugged up this other compressor. So they seem to be round robining pretty well. So I'll probably end up upgrading this to maybe 5 quantum compressors, each making the single compressed cobblestone, and then just pumping it over to here, because this seems to be keeping up all right. Maybe whenever I upgrade to 5, I might need another one, but I doubt it. I think just one of all the rest of these will be good. We're about to make our 6th 5 times compressed cobblestone. But that's the thing, I'm not even out of cobblestone yet. It just can't keep up with the cobblestone. So, I mean, this is killing cobblestone. Like I said, I mean, there's going to be a lot of cobblestone from that one quarry area, and then I can just move it. It's probably going to be, that's a pretty big area. You're talking probably a few million cobblestone. So, I mean, it should be pretty good, because I remember looking a while back, and I think the average chunk has, like 15 or 16,000 cobblestone in it, from top to bottom, something like that. I mean, we should be pretty good. And then, like I said, if I need more cobblestone, I mean, right now, I'm going to keep an eye on it. There's probably going to be some changes to this between this episode and next. Probably just more stuff running, you know, speeding it up and everything. So, anyways, I'm going to end this episode out here. Next episode, when we come back, of course, we're going to be working on the compressed cobblestone. I might, since we have so much of this stuff going, I might end up moving it to its own dedicated room. I don't know. Because I've got all those rooms, but at the same time, I kind of like it in here, because this is like where I do all my in-game stuff, you know? Especially now that all the Galacticraft grind is done, I'm like really in here, so I kind of like to keep an eye on it. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But I really don't think it's that bad, because I bet we've ran probably 1 million through there already, or close to it, with what I had and everything. I don't know. And the worst thing is there's no other way to make the compressed cobble except this way. Like, you can't just craft it into compressed cobble. You have to do it through the compression. So, because there's faster crafters than this, but this is what we got to do, is just upscale quantum compressors to make it. So, at least it's on a server, because this is, I don't know, SevTech I think has one of the, I'd say it's one of the less grindy in-games, but at the same time it's also like one of the worst in-games, because I hate cobblestone in-games. I cannot stand them. Anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point, so I am going to end out this episode here. Next episode, when we come back, we will probably craft this, because I am going to try to get that schematic, just so we'll have everything done except for these two. And then we might get that. We'll probably be working on that, but we might get that next episode. We'll see. And then, I don't know, we'll just kind of play it by ear, because really this is the main two things that we're working on at this point. So it might even be a shorter episode. I don't know. It just depends on how much of a waiting game we have for the end game. And after we finish all the advancements, we'll do a final server tour, we'll do a final base tour of our base, and then we'll check out the prestige system. And that's really all that's left for SevTech. So, exciting stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then. Okay, yeah, we're not going to do a material stonework factory, because I was just looking at the speed. For some reason, I was thinking they were a little bit faster than this, but they're pretty horrible. If anything, I think the builder is probably going to be our best method. We might end up making a cobblestone dimension to speed it up. Maybe even setting up like a couple builders at a time. And I think it's just going to come down to more quantum compression chambers. Because, for example, if I pull this cobblestone out, like, it produces 1 a second, roughly, per material stonework factory, which I was doing some math earlier just out of curiosity, because you need like 45 million cobblestone, and if you produced 1 cobblestone a second, of course that's assuming that you only have 1 stonework factory, it would take you like a year and a half at that rate to get the cobblestone that you need. If you were producing, it was like 480 days at 1 cobblestone per second running non-stop to produce the cobblestone that you need. So it's not going to cut it. We're not going to be able to build enough material stonework factories to make that even a legitimate thing. So we're not going to go with that. So just a heads up.